I want to talk about California Chrome's owner. Did anybody see the interview last week after the Triple Crown? Steve Coburn.
Yes, yep.
He was frank, and basically I tweeted out afterward, I said, I love the guy's passion. Yep. He was not happy when they lost. The guy wasn't a pussy. He was ticked. He said what was on his mind. And of course the media, the media wanted him to kowtow and bow to their holier-than-thou attitude. So I liked it. So we've got the audio bite. We'll play that tomorrow. And then he stuck by his guns all week. And then on Good Morning America, he goes on Good Morning America, and oh, look at this, the Twitter. Oh, that was just a retweet. Okay. I didn't win the cash. He goes on Good Morning America, and one of the hosts says, Robin Roberts says, now, there's something you'd like to say, isn't there? You know, they show what happened, and basically he's like, I apologize, and I'm, like contrite. All bullshit.
Well, you know what the long and short of it is, the guy's got a point, but somebody else figured out a strategy, and it was illegal. It was by the rules.
Right, but that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is, here's a guy that had the balls to say exactly what he felt. Whether you agreed or disagreed, he expressed his opinion, and so many times in this country now, people are afraid to express their opinion. And all of a sudden, because some jerk-offs in the media, Bob Costas being one of them, saying, you shouldn't have said that, and getting a lot of criticism.
He could say it, but it's still sour grapes.
So, but wait a minute.
God bless him for saying it, but it's sour grapes.
Well, no, because I'll tell you why.
No.
Because the entire week before, he was talking about that in all the press conferences and the different one-on-one interviews, saying that you've got to qualify for the points. And I agree. I think that it should be, when you qualify for the Kentucky Derby, if you run the Kentucky Derby, then you go on to the Preakness. Then from the Preakness, and if you only got 4 horses in the Belmont, so be it. But I got to tell you, these
the rules are.
But wait a minute, these horses beat the shit out of each other when they're running. So the chances of, even if there's only 4 horses, it's going to be very difficult to win the Triple Crown. But I think the guy's right. You have a horse that comes in that's well rested. That's like basically saying, you know what? And he brought up a great point. I'm going to run a triathlon. I'm going to work the triathlon. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do the 5-mile swim and the 20-mile bike ride. I'm just going to come for the last 5-mile run.
Hey, why do you think the Triple Crown hasn't been won in 30 years?
Well, Paul, that's not. Let me say, back about 50, 60 years ago, or not 50, 60, but probably about 40 years ago, do you know that the owners of those horses, Dave, back in the 40s and 50s, they raced them in between the races.
I didn't know that.
They couldn't afford to let the horse sit.
Right.
So it's a whole different ballgame. And I think one of the ways to resolve it, me personally, would be, is to just give them a little bit more time between the races.
Well, but again, it's not talking about the race itself. It's what he said afterward, and I admired his passion.
Oh, I have no problem.
And I like
speaking his
right.
mind.
And you know what? I don't want. And as I tweeted out, show me somebody that's happy to lose, and I'll show you a loser every time. Losing should not be pleasant.
But it's still sour grapes.
Well, maybe, but I like the fact that he told it like it was, and what I've always espoused is we need more people in this country that tell it like it is, that are alpha, that have the nads of steel, and say this is what I believe, and don't run around immediately because somebody criticizes him saying, I'm contrite, I apologize.
Yeah, that is the story. The story is
that's the story.
He was pressured.
Correct. And you know what? And then of course they criticized him because his wife tried to stop him. His wife was like tugging on him, and he goes, I'm not done. And I said, you know what? He should have said what he said. His wife tried to stop him, and they're saying, oh, well, you went after your wife? That's a load. I don't buy it.
Affect him financially, can it?
No, it's not going to load. No. And you know what? He's a normal guy. He's not one of these racing.
Can they make him sell his horse?
No, he's not. He bought it for what, 7,000 or something, or 10,000. He's not one of these racing elites like the guy whose horse won the Belmont, who had the personality of my right fucking testicle. Okay, this guy is a Texas plain-speaking guy. What's that?
Was he talking about the horse that's got your personality?
Hung like horse. Hung like horse. Yeah. Actually, you know what? What I would name my horse? Hung like horse. But I admired the guy that he had the passion, and he was ticked, and he expressed it. And Bob Costas comes out, saying, well, there was in the heat of losing or the heat of battle, I'm sure he was probably didn't mean to say it, and that was baloney. Bob Costas is a holier-than-thou prick.
Something that you say when you're passionate. You say it, and I agree with you.
Do you think, General Patton, when he said something saying, damn, I'm really, I apologize for saying that we ought to rip the guts out of the Nazi enemy. No, you don't apologize for that. And that's the problem. This whole country, we apologize. So that's the point of this story that I want to bring up. We have the soundbite of him, the entire soundbite of when he's interviewed right after the race, and then we have the soundbite when he was on Good Morning America.
If it's not so politically correct, we got to apologize.
You know what? Take a stand and have the conviction to stand by it. Yeah. Simple. Exactly. All right.
Well, I think what he did was he made a point that the damn thing should be changed.
Right.